With Black Friday just a couple of days away, you may be thinking about the gifts you'll be purchasing for your loved ones. It was around this time last year when there was only one thing Cassie Masters wanted and desperately needed for Christmas: a liver. Barrett Leone shares her journey and our newfound mission.
Now, it was here in Rochester at the Mayo Clinic where Cassie received a gift that she'll never forget: a second chance. Cassie Masters knew something was wrong when she was 18.
There was a point where I looked like I was 8 months pregnant.
Turns out her intuition was right.
They found out that I had a blood clot in my hepatic vein of my liver, and it was clotted so long that basically that vein was destroyed. I was one of the first patients that they had up at the Mayo Clinic that actually was diagnosed with the Budd-Chiari syndrome, and my liver was shutting down. They put a shunt in there. I was really lucky to live. They put the shunt in, and that acted as the vein for 12 years of my life.
Eventually, Cassie needed a more permanent fix.
From the very beginning, me and my family knew that transplant was going to be something that was in my future.
So, in the summer of 2019, the search for a living donor began.
I started with Facebook, and I started telling everybody that it was time for me to have a liver transplant, but I couldn't get a deceased donor. Pretty much spread the word to everybody, and people started applying.
There's quite a few patients who never get a chance to get a deceased donor organ because they don't have a high priority score. So even though they are very sick and they would likely die because of end-stage organ failure, they don't get a chance to get one of those deceased donor organs.
That's where Sam Grant came in.
I guess I kind of just saw her post. She was asking for people to apply to be a potential donor. I knew that I was the same blood type, and so I was like, I'll give it a shot.
They were a perfect match.
Well, the first time that we met was when I told her that I was her match.
It's gonna make me tear up talking about it, but I don't think anything could be better than that moment.
I don't know. Something just told me I should do it, and so I did it.
It was that gut feeling that saved Cassie's life.
If that surgery didn't work, then I probably wouldn't be here today.
Right now in the United States, there are more than 108,000 people waiting for a life-saving organ. More than 12,000 people are waiting for a liver, just like Cassie.
Through the deceased donation, we're able to transplant about 8,000 of them every year, which leaves about 4,000 of the people on the wait list without a liver.
Those people are waiting for a miracle to happen, and not a lot of people know about living donation. That really slims down their odds of getting their second chance, which I believe that everybody deserves.
It's Cassie's newfound life.
I feel great. I feel better than I can remember. I don't even know what normal feels like. This has to be the closest to it.
That's given her a passion to be an advocate.
That made me realize how important it was to talk about living donation
and help others in her same situation.
I'm able to do things that other people may not have been given the chance to.
Starting with nursing school.
My goal is to have a position on a transplant unit to help give people hope, because it's possible. Anything's possible. And
always keeping in mind,
donors are the true heroes. So donors, what they're doing is they're pretty much giving a life back to a person in need.
The hero that saved her.
She's a part of my family. We're very excited to have her in our wedding, and I would not have it any other way.
I gained a friend out of it.
Now, Mayo Clinic is actually expanding its living liver donation program. If you're interested in becoming a living donor or even considering it, check out KATTC.com. Reporting in Rochester, Barrett Leone, KATTC News.